I love chess and I love analyzing positions and learning things, and I wanted to share the things that I've learned as well as just my passion for the game with this interesting position right here. Here's what's happening. The stakes are pretty high. This is the second round, a 4-round match for the title of Spokane City Champion. So I am the current title holder. I'm in the middle of this match presently, and the outcome is to be determined. But a couple days ago, we had the first day of the match, and this position arose. And he messed up. Before I talk about the moves, let me give a little bit more context too here. I actually had 5 seconds on my clock. Now, how is that even possible to play out the rest of the game here? Well, I actually went on to win because I made all of my remaining moves in 5 seconds each. And so that's a whole nother thing. That's not what this is about. What really caught my interest here is that he had actually an opportunity to win in this position and he missed it. So if you want to give it a try, see if you can solve this position. What should black play right here? Going once, going twice, and the answer is rook c8. Not this move, which is what he played pretty quickly. The king had just traveled from g8 to d8, so it seems logical to just move it to the next square and try to get it up this way. But after he does this, I bust out this move, kapow, to prevent this king from getting active. Now it just doesn't have a good role, and it blocks in the rook from doing anything purposeful either. And so now white's just crushing, and he resigned in 8 more moves. So what he should have done is this move. And what I find really compelling about this example in terms of king activity is how well it illustrates the cost in time that it takes to activate a king. Because let's count current moves. How long currently have we spent getting this king to its destination of somewhere over here, right? Well, we spent 1, 2, 3 to get the king here. And now this move is not designed to make the rook active. It's really not. The whole board just centers around getting this king active. So now it's 4. And in total, black needs to spend 12 moves to max this guy out. Now, how do I go from 4 to 12? Well, you'll see. Here we go. After rook to c8, pawn a6, here check. After this move, now he goes, I would have to go back, and then he gets to go king c8 since the pathway has been cleared, pawn b7, and then this move. 7 moves so far, getting his king to b8. He went from g8 to c8, the rook cleared out. That was 1 move, or it was 2 moves, and then also it traveled over to b8. So we're talking 7 moves so far, and it's not even fully maxed out. It'll take another few moves to fulfill its maximum potential here and then there and then here, which is not actually what happens in this line, but just to illustrate that it's not even maxed out. How do you spend 7 moves on a piece and it's still not doing the best it can? It's a slow piece. The rook isn't even at its best destination here. Its presence on the second rank is a misnomer. It has no plans to take on g2, nor is it intending to help advance this b pawn. So the no actual investment has been given to actually improving the rook as of yet. Next, what happens? Knight b6, and then this is the funniest move ever, I feel like. Rook c7. This move has one purpose: to stop the move knight to d7, covering for the king, who was otherwise perfectly available for that task on these 3 squares. But it's no, you get it. I'm busy right now. Because it wouldn't work for the king to try to do that. If the king were to step back like this, now we can play knight d7 anyway, and we're going to be promoting this pawn. Also, pawn to a7 would work all the same, since king's not helping with where we want it to help. So just there and then queen. And then if we just blindly, crudely press on forward and just move the king to a7 as we intended to, knight d7, and this guy's getting promoted. So he has to go rook c7. And then now, white can't do anything. Now, all of the plans that white had are just stopped dead in their tracks, and there's just no stopping here, followed by here, there, and then there. So this is what would happen next. Knight to a4, covering b2, since my king, really inactive, isn't available for the task. Now king a7, and a total of 9 moves were spent. The outcome is now evident. It affects 4 relevant squares. It stops knight b6, it blockades a7, colors, it covers b8, more colors, and it pressures a6. You can do orange arrows? Said one person who was listening to this. Yes, I just learned this about 2 weeks ago. Turns out Command and Shift allows for a 4th color. Any hoosers. Now knight b2, this comes back, knight d3. The pressure is not totally resolved and done here. It's not a done deal, because what's white can do now is set up the threat of going here and then here. So quite a voyage for the knight, speaking of time-consuming expenditures and proving a piece. But this is, I don't know, more common at least to move the knight a whole bunch of times like that than it is for the king anyway. So rook c4, stopping this move. If black tries to go like this and immediately pursue this objective, it fails miserably, because after here and then this, here check, and we're going to be promoting this pawn. So instead, rook to c4, and now king d2, rook a4. And here you could also just take the pawn at this point, but it's more consistent to continue with the plan of maximizing out the king, which requires the rook to capture on a6. It's just so much pampering going on for the king. Like, the rook's like, can you get the pawn, please? Like, I'm kind of just running all over the place here. You know, you went here and then there, and then it came back, and now it's like, okay, I'll go back to c4. And then the rook's like, any chance you could, it's like right in front of you. It'd be great if you, and the king's like, no. I have things I gotta do today. So the rook's like, okay, fine. So rook a4, and then after here, takes this way, here, and then there. 12 moves dedicated to the king, after which its value is completely useless. Like, now it controls no useful squares whatsoever. Very interesting series of events. That was the line that he would have had to find in order to defeat me. And so what do we learn here? We learn that, yeah, it is time consuming and exhausting to improve the king, but that's what he should have done. So hope you find that interesting.